Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Build a City episode 60 something, but today in this episode we are going to be building a McDonald's, so do stick around for that. But before you do go ahead and watch the video, make sure you leave a like because it does really help out and it helps out the video and the channel and all that sort of thing, so go ahead and drop a thumbs up. So like I say, and by the title of this as well, you should be able to know that we're going to be building a McDonald's. And before we get started, I want to show you this. So the way we've created this is literally by having a map filled in and adding pixel art to it. And then you can put the map on item frames, so you can actually create quite intricate little designs. And we'll be using these to help us with our designs of the McDonald's, which is what we'll be building over here. Now I've already knocked up this sort of design as like sort of the basic layout of how I want the walls and the design of the building to actually go. So I'm going to go ahead and grab all of these blocks here, and like I say, I've flattened out an area where I want it to go as well. This McDonald's as well is sort of more of an American looking McDonald's compared to what we have in Britain, but it's quite, you know, easily recognisable. And definitely something that everyone will be able to easily say, oh yeah, there's a McDonald's. So I'm going to start by building the entranceway, a sort of doorway, and we're going to want to make it have some sort of glass door, so it almost looks like they're swinging open. And I'll show you how to do that in just a second with some glass panes. It's pretty easy, gives a good little effect like a door. So it's pretty much, in fact we might have to change this, because it's pretty much having that and then having the doors swing out. In fact, yeah, we're going to move this so it's one wider, and I'll show you why. If we go like that, and let's fill that in just for the time being. We will change the flooring, but I just thought having it one colour will help for the time being. So if we go like that, hang on a minute, I need to make it so there's one block gap in the middle, like so. I mean, you can just have it like that, so it's just the one door sort of swinging open, which would work, but I suppose we might as well make it symmetrical, so like this, and there we go. So what's that? As a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 block gap in the middle. So there you go, it looks like there's sort of a door swinging open like that, and it gives quite a modern looking effect. Obviously you can't really close it without smashing up all the glass, but it does look quite nice. Anyway, moving on from that, let's go ahead and add in the rest of the design. So let's add in where we want the windows to go. So I've made that little window design that you saw just before, which is like this. It's pretty simple. In fact, the whole building is going to be really simple, so you should be able to quite easily follow along at home. And even if it's not block for block, you can take these sort of designs and change it to fit around your world as easy as you can, and just make it fit in nicely. And we have already got a few McDonald's in the world already, but they're sort of incorporated into different buildings, like at the bottom of skyscrapers or in the shopping mall. So this is the first standalone McDonald's building in the world. Right, so we've got that. Now I'm going to add in a wall made out of brick. So this is just sort of not a glass wall, it's just a normal supporting structured wall like that. And we're going to do the same on the other side as well. And hopefully we'll have room for a drive-through as well. Obviously it doesn't need to be too big, because the only vehicles that we've got really are horses and pigs and sort of things like that. But then I've always got to take it into consideration if I do add like a mod in which has cars or whatever, I always want to keep room for that. So yeah, we'll be able to have a drive through, head down this way, loop around the back and come out this side as well. And we'll add some car parking spaces and all that good stuff as well in just a bit. But we'll focus on the front for the time being. I should also mention there might be some people watching that thought, I'm sure I recorded this video with you, Kieran, because I actually had some helpers in and we made a design beforehand, but I forgot to record the audio properly, just because I don't usually record with helpers, So I got caught up in the moment and I forgot to record the audio properly. And there's a couple of things I wanted to change as well anyway from that original design, so it all sort of works out. But I am thinking of getting some helpers in for some more videos, so do stay tuned for if I do ever ask for some helpers. It'll be people that watch the channel. Right, anyway, I want to sort out an area where we can have the McDonald's logo, and I've just realised if we have the McDonald's logo up here somewhere, it's going to have to be like 4 blocks like that, which won't be symmetrical, so that's really annoying. I mean, we might have to move the whole design along 1 block to make this symmetrical, so let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so that didn't take too much effort or time, so I'm going to clear my hotbar here and we're going to add this design onto the front now. I think it should look really good, so we'll go the top bits first and then the bottom. It can get a bit confusing placing these maps obviously because they're all different parts, but they look the same. So we'll go that one, that one, that one and that one. Let's put this together. And there you go, that actually looks really good I think. So we'll definitely keep that, and I've got them saved over there so I can clear my hotbar with no real worries. Okay, so I think I'm going to have this roof come up just a little bit taller. We will sort out the other sides of this in just a moment as well. I just want to get the design set up for the building first before I start building all the rest of the levels of the building. Right, I think that looks good. It's quite a traditional looking American styled McDonald's, so that's always good. Now we're going to need some sort of area out the front where you can eat outside, or it just will have like trash cans and bins and stuff like that, just to make it look a bit more realistic. So I'm going to use these smooth stone blocks because they sort of look like it looks like a pavement, some paving stones. It looks like the sort of thing you would have outside, so we're sort of going for the realism aspect, which is always good. And I think we'll probably use something like, here we go, we'll use this dark clay, or terracotta I should say, there just to show where the building begins. So we don't want like the outdoors materials on the indoors too, so let's just fill the rest of this in. Okay, there we go, and that adds a nice little area out the front, and we can always add in some chairs out the front, or some bins like I say, or some plants or something like that, just to add a bit of life to the area. Anyway, I think that's pretty good. I mean, it's quite a simple design. I think I'm going to add in a little more detail by having some quartz and some stairs. So we're going to have this come up the top, I think, like so. And we can always have it peaked like that. That looks quite good. And then we're going to have this come across and overhang just one there. It sort of adds a more modern aspect to the build as well. It does make the roof look a little shorter though, so we maybe will add another layer of this red, just so you can see the iconic red roof a little easier. Like I say, you don't really get this sort of style McDonald's in Britain so much. You usually get some more modern looking builds for the British style one, so maybe I'll do that in a future episode. It depends what you guys see, or maybe I'll have to do another fast food restaurant, but I always do listen to what you guys put in the comments section, so do make sure to suggest what you want to see being built. And anyway, that is looking good. I'm liking that. It looks like a McDonald's. Let's do the rest of the walls. So like I said, I want to make sure that there's a drive-through, don't I? So we've got to work out where that's going to go, and we've got to think about the interior too as well. So we want obviously enough room for people to be able to sit around and enjoy a meal, but then again we've got to have room for the drive-through and for the meals to be cooked, the happy meals to be cooked and all that good stuff. So let's try this out. And also I noticed with this smaller McDonald's design, that sort of looks like a Happy Meal box as well. So we can always do something like that on the inside. We'll try out some different designs, and I might do some of the interior this episode. I might leave it to another episode, but we'll see. I usually just do the exterior, but we'll see how we do for time anyway. Right, that gives enough room on the inside for quite a bit of space. I think we'll go along and add another sort of spacer wall here. It just adds a bit more size to the build, like this. And then we're going to have a drive-through window. So we're probably best keeping it the same size as this. So it's 4 blocks. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll put another pillar in. There we go, because we want everything to line up quite nicely. And then we're going to want to make it so that you can lean over and get your meal. So I guess we probably don't need this. So you can pull up there, and we'll have a little bit of a overhang to protect you from the wind and the rain if you're serving. And we can have a little door there. There's the window that opens. In fact, we should probably have that on the other side. There you go, that's the window that opens. That's pretty good. Maybe we should have it like that. There you go, I'm liking that. I'm loving it. And we can bring the roof over and see how this is looking so far as well. Oh, and we should probably put in another spacer wall. There we go, because we want the kitchen obviously around this back area of the build as well, towards the back of the restaurant. So let's go like that and fill this in. So this is where you take the order. We're obviously going to need another area where they pick up the food as well. So we will do that probably on the back side of it, of the build, so that we can keep everything quite close together. Right, let's get this roof put on and see what it looks like, because we want to keep checking that it's up to scratch and up to what we want in the city, in this suburban area. I'm liking the way this is looking so far. I think we'll continue this across, of course, and we've got to hopefully I don't forget to add the big McDonald's sign, because that's obviously an iconic part of the build as well. Alright, that is looking good, I think. So far, that is obviously a McDonald's. It looks quite realistic as well, it's quite modern, so it's all going well. I suppose we could already add in the McDonald's sign. We've got to sort of mark out where we want some bits. So let's go ahead and mark out some areas. So we want a wall here really, or a hedge or something, just to separate off the the drive-through from the sidewalk. So let's add a bit of a barrier of some sort. Let's see, how much room would we have if we had that? Is that enough room for the drive-through, or is that a bit tight? I think that's okay, to be honest. That should be okay. Let's bring that across like so, and then we can have a hedge running through this as well. I think we should probably do another hedge leading up here as well to separate the car park off from the rest of the build. So let's do that now. Okay, there we go. And then of course we're going to want to have the McDonald's sign somewhere, probably on the corner here, or maybe on the corner there, possibly. I think we could probably do that. Maybe if this part, which lines up with the with that little walkway bit, this could be where the sign goes. So let's see. I've not practiced this or anything, so we're gonna just play this by ear, see how we get on. Let's make this just look a little bit nicer. There we go. So we'll start off like that, And then I think we'll go for, we could do sandstone, I suppose, or we could do andesite. Let's see what would look better. Probably the andesite. Oops, if I can build it properly. I've accidentally destroyed everything. Right, and we don't want it to be too big, the sign. Obviously, it's going to be quite difficult building the M and making it look in proportion. Oh god, these walls are not the easiest things to build. So we want everything in proportion to what it'd be like in real life, of course. So that's probably fine. Let's add some red. I think the red for this is a little bit too dark. I mean, that's a little bit brighter. So we'll use that. So we'll probably go, because ideally that's how big it'd be, but realistically, if we're going to want to fit an M on, it's probably going to have to be something along the lines of that height. And let's add the M on top here. So we'll start off by just doing this. I think this is going to be a little bit short. That's not too bad actually. If we get rid of the middle part, I think that does the job. It's quite easily identifiable as a McDonald's. And let's grab this light block as well, and we can light this up for when it's dark. We can check that out as well. And we'll put some light blocks around here as well. Pop that back in my inventory for later, and let's see what this looks like dark. There we go. Yeah, that is looking good. I'm liking it. Alright, let's go ahead and build the rest of the walls. It's quite an easy build, like I was saying. So it's not anything that you shouldn't be able to build yourself. And I did take a bit of inspiration from looking at loads of different builds, but some of them weren't amazing. Like I saw some McDonald's on YouTube, and they seemed a bit outdated, to be honest. So hopefully, if you're looking for a realistic and sort of modern but still easy to build McDonald's, then this is the place to come. Right, now we've got to sort of recreate that. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to make this just into a little serving hatch. And I think we went over like that. And then of course we'll put in the window. That's where you can collect your food. So you order it here, you're waiting around, and you collect it there. In fact, that's got to go down one, like that. And then we should be able to just join this up, well, as best as we can. I mean, there are some pretty awkward measurements. Let's just start from here and pretty much recreate this wall, but we're going to change that serving hatch to be a normal window. Okay, so that is pretty much the main exterior of the building. It's the 4 walls. There's plenty of room inside for much more detail and stuff to be added. In fact, we should probably go along and seal off some of these gaps that you've got above the windows. So let's use, we're going to use some light grey concrete, I've decided. We'll go across and just fill in all of these gaps. Okay, in hindsight, I probably should have done that with white concrete. So if I were you, I'd do it with white concrete, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. You know, you can barely see it anyway. But right, so the next thing is obviously putting a roof on top, and I'm not entirely sure how I want to do the roof. I mean, a couple of options could be having a white part like this running across. I mean, we can have a look to see what that looks like from the front. It looks okay. I don't think it's necessary, but let's have another look. So yeah, you can obviously have that running across the top and then a roof below it, but it's sort of down to personal preference, of course. But I think I'll miss that out and we'll just put a normal stone roof, but we'll have it below like this, and then we'll have, you know, extractor fans and chimneys and all that sort of thing coming off the top. And there you go, pretty simple roof, but pretty modern, and I imagine that to be quite realistic as well. So let's go ahead and add a couple of different extractor fan designs. In fact, this could be cool. I wasn't going to use that, but maybe the smoker could work quite well to make some sort of extractor fan design. If we sort of angle it like this, that does actually look kind of cool. So let's do a couple of these little chimneys like that, and then we can always connect them up as well, so this sort of looks like some sort of plumbing between them. And let's add some more sort of classic looking ones which you see in a lot of buildings, where we just go like, in fact, let's keep it all around the same corner. This is where the sort of kitchen is anyway, so we'll keep that. Let's go like this, and then we'll join it up like that, and we'll use, we can either use that, or let's see, what else have I used before? Or these shulker boxes sort of look like sort of like metal boxes. That's like they give the sort of same effect as these. We'll keep these. So we'll go like that. That looks like, you know, these are the vents and stuff. In fact, we can have one lead into the side of the building here, maybe leading out the side, and having a blast furnace there. There you go. It looks like some type of extractor fan. And then on top of that, I'll make some little vents by doing these rails on top. And you can always add campfires and stuff in somehow, just to have bits of smoke coming out the top. That can always look really good as well with builds. There you go, that's pretty much the exterior done. I might add in a couple of little car parking spaces as well. So if I imagine cars can come in here, we don't need too many spaces. You know, it's not an extremely overcrowded city, so if we just add a few of these going along. And there you go, you got some car parking spaces. Obviously you can add in as much as you like with your build. You can extend the car park or whatever. Another little thing I suppose we can add in is having an arrow pointing which way the to drive down the drive-through. So let's go for something like that. I suppose it's kind of hard to draw an arrow. It looks like just like a crucifix. Hold on, if we go like that, maybe that acts a bit better. Oh, this is actually kind of difficult. Hang on, how are we going to make an arrow? Like that maybe? There you go. There's an arrow pointing to drive down that way of the drive-through. But that pretty much does it for this episode. Now, this is very rare, but this is going to be a two-parter. Just because this is quite an iconic build and something that I'm sure a lot of people would be interested in building. I'm going to do another episode following up after this, doing all of the interior and finishing up obviously a bit of the outside and adding some more detail. So look out for part 2 of the McDonald's build. It should be up pretty soon. But if you did enjoy this one, make sure to leave a thumbs up on the video. It really does help. And if you're new, subscribe, and then you'll be able to see when this new episode comes out. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see all of you in the next one.